Alright, I'm going to try and explain this. The whole institutional racism thing, specifically in the context of why blacks are more likely to be convicted and more likely to, and are the larger majority of the prison population when it comes to race. Now, you probably heard statistics like, oh, black people are 25 or something, times more likely than white people to get convicted. And Latinos, it's the same thing. All right, so let me start with the IQ. Okay, due to socio-economic factors, the black community in America, at least, overall has the lowest average IQ. Now I'll explain this in a minute. And then it's the Mexicans, and then it's the Americans, and then at the very top of the intelligence rung is the Asians. Now, this is important because we need to disassociate this whole, this race on average in this place has a lower IQ than this other race. This is not because of the race. This is because of the factors of where they live, their environment, how they are raised, and we have statistics to explain, or at least suggest why this might be the case. On one hand, blacks, those in the black community, are significantly more likely, on average, to be raised in a single-parent household. Now, why is that a problem? Because missing one parent is completely having the whole, cutting the half of the whole. I don't know if I was being clear on the context there. Basically, you're missing half of the experiences, half of the opportunity, half of the income, half of the discipline, and half of the perspective that you would have if you had two one biologically male and one biologically female parent. You're missing half of what you need. That on the overwhelming average, Latinos get more, and whites get even more. The single parent rate for the black community, I believe, is something like 70% or something. It's insane. It is a really, really extremely skewed ratio in comparison to the other races. Now, I don't know why that is. People can claim institutional racism and all that, but not that I'm seeing. I'm seeing statistics that reflect something else. I don't know what it is, okay? Alright, I don't know what it is, so I can't speak on that. But I can say single parenthood is directly related to a larger statistic of dropouts in high school. And dropouts in high school is another huge statistic in getting a high-paying job. Even more so than a college degree. But the black community overwhelmingly has a higher dropout rate than all the other races in America as well. And these are directly tied to each other. As many statistics, there are parallels in these statistics that people have made and distinguished and realized. There are direct correlations that stem from this single parenthood issue that divulge into all of these other statistics. This is the one they have in common. Okay, so single parenthood, it's like 70% or something. It's an insane ratio. And then dropout rates. I don't know what it is. but I know it's higher. I used to know it at some point, because I've seen people cite the exact statistic from like the government website and stuff. And then, see, this is the thing. This is why the dropout rate is important in crimes, because this goes back to the IQ. When you drop out of high school, your IQ lowers. And low IQs are directly related to being more likely to commit a crime. And not only to commit a crime, to reoffend again, and to get caught. Let's be honest. People with lower IQs it's much more difficult for them to cover up a crime. And people with lower IQs are much more likely to reoffend just simply for not understanding, other options and things like that. People who are less intelligent are often much more likely to commit crimes and to get caught. I mean, I think it's clear. I think that should be clear and obvious that the overwhelming majority of criminals who end up in court and who end up arrested are the smartest of people in most cases. They're usually doing something pretty stupid and committing some pretty dumb crimes. Not only that. Now, I don't know this. This is where I'm simply, I guess this is more of a question from me in my own, I guess I'm suggesting what might be the cause here. Okay, so I don't know the statistics for this next part because I simply haven't looked them up. There'd be way too much to look up. I'm simply putting something that might be related here out in the open that I'm thinking that may or may not. Okay, take it with what you will. Okay, but before I get to that real quick, what was I? There was something. Alright, so we've already established that the black community overwhelmingly has the highest ratio of single parenthood. Now, we've established it's directly related to people dropping out of high school, and that's directly related to lower IQ rates. And that's directly related to committing crime, recommitting crime, getting caught committing crime, and basically just there's a higher average of offenders with that comes with lower IQ. Okay, so already we've established that they're probably getting caught at a higher rate because of these things, because of this lower IQ. That's because of the high school dropout and the mother. Or in the single parenthood. I don't know if it's just mothers. It could be single fathers too. And that's just as much as a problem. Any single parenthood is often a problem. So they're getting arrested. They have lower IQs. They're more likely to get caught. They're more likely to reoffend and reoffend and reoffend until they get that, until they run out of strikes or whatever. Okay? Now, here's another thing that I've never seen someone address. This is the part I want to talk about the most, okay? Because of these, I guess, socio-economic factors and the IQ, see, I'm pretty sure, and again, I said I don't have statistics for this, but I'm pretty sure people with higher IQs are more likely to commit certain crimes, less risky crimes. They're more likely to commit crimes and find ways around committing crimes in order to find solutions to their problems. Whereas people with lower IQs are more likely, I do believe, to commit certain crimes that are often seen as much more offensive and much more, considered more along the lines of felony than it is misdemeanor. So this is yet another thing. Because IQ, I don't have statistics for this, but I do believe IQ has a factor in what crime, on average, not in every individual, but on average, what crime you're more likely to commit. And I think a lower IQ probably people would think, would be more likely and less likely to reconsider committing a crime that carries a felony versus a misdemeanor. I think people with higher IQs probably commit more misdemeanors on average than they do felonies. Whereas I think people with lower IQs and less education often probably on average commit more felonies or more, publicly offensive crimes like murder and, rape, sexual assault. Things that, would get you basically arrested by any sort of, crimes that basically offend people to where you're likely not going to get out of there in order to reoffend the first time. Whereas people with higher IQs, they might steal or something, but they carry different weight, and the judges and juries look at them differently. The reason why they might be filling these prisons is because with their lower average IQ here in America, they might be committing more offensive crimes that are not only, they might be offending people to the point where nobody wants to give them a second chance. Versus whites and Asians, whereas if they probably have averages where they're not committing as, horrific crimes. And they're probably committing more misdemeanors, so they're getting lenient. Not to mention, yes, money is definitely a factor, okay? The black community, overall, because of the single parenthood, again, you're missing an entire half of an income. And let's be honest, money talks. If you can pay a better lawyer, you're more likely to get out. You're more likely to get away with things. It's not about your race. Socio-economic factors have a very large impact on whether or not you're going to be able to hire a lawyer and significantly reduce your chances of compelling someone to that you are innocent or at least, not exactly responsible for this crime that you are being accused of. And that's a huge factor that I don't see. I don't see people pointing out. So anyways, that's that. Thanks for watching.